Welcome back to Cheater's True Stories, where we dive deep into the forbidden, the fiery, and the downright messy. If you don't like this genre, feel free to skip it. But if you're hooked on steamy, heart-wrenching tailies, hit that like button and subscribe now. Your love keeps us spinning these wild stories. I'm Emma, 41, and I was done 10 years of lonely nights, aching for touch, barely holding it together. Then Noah stormed in, my son's best friend, young, ripped, and dangerous, igniting a craving I couldn't kill. A decade of nothing but my own hands had me breaking, until he showed up and my world caught fire. Get ready, this one's a scorcher. At 41, I'd locked myself in a cage of my own making. Days dragging through a quiet Seattle suburb, nights spent with wine and silence since my divorce a decade ago. Sex, a distant memory, replaced by restless fingers and fantasies that never filled the void. I'd stopped expecting more, until Noah crashed into my life like a storm I couldn't outrun. Tall, broad, with a body carved from raw power, he was my son Ryan's best friend. 19, cocky, the kind of guy who turned heads without trying. Abs that rippled when he tugged off his shirt, arms that flexed like they could break me in half. At first, it was innocent, stolen glances when he'd crash at our place after a late night with Ryan. But as summer rolled in, those glances turned into something feral, something I couldn't bury. It started on a blistering July afternoon. Ryan was off on a weekend camping trip, leaving Noah behind. Something about a fight. I didn't pry. I just stepped out of the shower, silk robe clinging to my damp skin, when a knock jolted me. "Mrs. Taylor," Noah's voice, low and rough, seeped through the bedroom door. "Your AC's busted, can I grab a fan?" My heart kicked hard, breath shallow. "Come in," I said, softer than I meant, a dare in my tone I hadn't planned. The door swung open, and there he was, shirt sticking to his sweat-slick chest, dark hair tousled, eyes catching mine like a trap snapping shut. For a beat, we froze. His gaze flicked to my robe, the slit parting over my thigh, the silk barely hiding me. I should have yanked it tight, told him to scram. Instead, I leaned against the dresser, letting it slip an inch down my shoulder. "Hot today, huh?" I murmured, watching his Adam's apple bob. "Yeah," he rasped, voice shaky, real hot. The air thickened, electric, dangerous. His hands twitched at his sides, he was fighting it, and I loved the power of that. I stepped closer, close enough to smell the sweat and cedar on him, my fingers grazing his arm, hard, warm, alive. "Noah," I whispered, voice trembling with want, "you don't have to rush off." His breath hitched, jaw clenching. "Mrs. Taylor," he managed, strained. "We shouldn't." But his body leaned in, betraying him, and I closed the gap, lips brushing his ear. "Say my name," I breathed. "Emma," he groaned, and that was it, the dam broke. His hands snapped to my waist, yanking me against him, all heat and muscle. My robe slid open as his lips crashed into mine, hungry, reckless, tasting of salt and sin. I tangled my fingers in his hair, pulling him deeper, my body screaming for more. His hands roamed, rough, possessive, shoving the silk aside, skimming my thighs, my hips, claiming me like he'd been starving too. "I've wanted you so damn long," he growled against my mouth, voice thick with need. I moaned, arching into him, lost in the fire of it. "Noah," I gasped, a plea, and he didn't stop, couldn't. We stumbled to the bed, a tangle of limbs and desperation, shedding clothes like they burned. His mouth was everywhere, neck, chest, lower, teasing, ruining me until I was trembling, begging, thighs shaking as he pushed me over the edge. Then he was inside me, filling me, and for the first time in 10 lonely years I felt alive, wild, wanted, whole. I woke the next morning, skin buzzing, his taste still on my lips. The bed was empty, Noah gone. Panic clawed at me. What the hell had I done? I replayed it. His hands, his groans, the way he'd worshipped me like a man possessed. Then the door creaked open, and there he was, shirtless, sweat glistening, eyes dark and heavy. "Went for a run," he said, voice husky. "Needed to think." I swallowed, heat pooling again. "Did it help?" He stepped inside, shutting the door. "Not a damn bit." Before I could blink, he was on me, lips crashing, hands pinning me to the wall, reigniting the blaze. "I can't stop thinking about you," he growled, breath hot on my skin. "Tell me you don't regret it." "The only thing I regret," I whispered, tracing his chest, "is waiting this long." His grip tightened, control slipping. "Good, 'cause I'm nowhere near done." We dove back in, no hesitation, no shame. His hands were rough, tender, peeling away my defenses as he pressed me into the mattress. Every thrust was a confession, every moan a vow we were lost, and I didn't care. When it ended, I lay there, wrecked and alive, his arms slung over me, breath steadying. "What now?" he murmured. I didn't answer, couldn't, because I knew this wasn't over. Weeks blurred into a secret inferno. Ryan came back, oblivious, while Noah and I stole moments. Kitchen counters, late-night drives, the guest room when the house was quiet. Every touch was a high, every risk a thrill. But guilt gnawed deeper, Ryan's laugh echoing my betrayal. Then it blew up. 3 months in, he caught us, Noah's hand on my thigh at the dining table, too casual, too close. "You disgust me," Ryan spat, voice breaking, duffel bag packed. "My best friend." "Seriously, Mom?" I reached for him. "It wasn't planned. Was it worth it?" His eyes, his father's eyes, burned with hurt. Was he? The door slammed, and he was gone. A year later, a letter landed, formal, cold. "Ryan has withdrawn consent for contact." My son across the country, cutting me out. Noah's hand settled on my shoulder, steady, warm. "You okay?" he asked, voice deeper now, weathered by our chaos. I turned into him, breathing him in Woods' cheap cologne home. "He switched schools because of us," I said, the truth a knife. His arms tightened. "I know." We'd wrecked everything, my family, his friendship, and yet here he was, my anchor in the ashes. The doorbell jolted us. Noah frowned. "You expecting someone?" I wasn't. But there stood my ex, Mark, wrinkled suit, wilting daisies in hand, a ghost from 22 years ago. "Hi, Emma," he said, hesitant, a moving van idling behind him. Noah loomed at my back, a silent thundercloud. Mark's eyes flickered, past stability meeting present fire. The wind whipped autumn leaves around us, and I realized this wasn't closure, it was Judgment Day. 6 months later, I sat in a courtroom, the air stale with regret. My lawyer slid papers over. Full custody to Ryan's father, supervised visitation only. Mark wouldn't look at me. Ryan stared ahead, my baby a stranger now. Noah wasn't there, couldn't be. The night it shattered replayed. Me screaming, hurling a photo, glass exploding near Noah's head. "You knew this would happen." "I love you," he'd roared back, shaking the walls. Love wasn't that the damn point. Outside, rain lashed me, and there he was, Noah, leaning on his truck, leather jacket soaked, older at 22 than he'd been at 19. "Emma," he said, voice rough. I wanted to kiss him, slap him, collapse. "You shouldn't be here." He stepped closer, boots splashing. "Got into firefighter training, Colorado." A broken laugh escaped me. "So this is it." His hands framed my face, thumbs smearing rain and tears. "Come with me. Leave this town, the guilt, just us, fresh start." I saw it all, Ryan's sticky grins, Noah's first thrust, the empty years ahead. "Okay," I whispered, choosing fire over ash. A year later, a Rocky Mountain dawn broke over our borrowed bed. The firehouse alarm screeched at 3 a.m. Noah geared up, pausing to kiss my swollen belly. "Love you both," he murmured, snowflakes dusting the window. Back east, a son might never forgive me. Here, there's fire, peace, a jagged, beautiful mess. I chose it, and I'd choose it again. And there you have it, my chaos laid bare. At 41, I fell hard for my son's best friend, traded family for passion, and walked through the ashes to find my fire. What's your take? Reckless love worth the wreckage, or a sin too deep to forgive? If this genre isn't your thing, no worries, skip ahead. But if it hooked you, please like and subscribe. Your support drives us to bring you more raw, irresistible stories. Drop your predictions below. Will Emma's choice hold or crash? Hit that bell. Next tale's coming in hot.